The Dex Legacy is intended for a mature adult audience and contains content that some listeners may find upsetting. Please check our show notes for trigger warnings and further details.
Scientists spend more time negotiating with their creations than you might think. The language varies. Codes are at the heart of everything we do, in rocket science and biology and beyond. We create something and then we train it and mold it to purpose, and eventually it gets beyond us. I hear you say, but precautions can be taken, no? Precautions will keep us safe. Hazmat suits, atmospheric controls, kill switches, tracking chips, decontamination booths, system-wide resets, software updates, zero-gravity white rooms. The problem is, sometimes our creations evolve beyond our capabilities to control. And when you create dangerous things, the results can be devastating. Both Devek and myself, if you knew how little we actually control and how much depends on negotiation, well, that knowledge would keep you awake at night.
Listening to the Dex Legacy, Season 3, Interlude 2, Repairs and Resurrections, starring Eleni Aristeidou and Lewie Watson, with music by Dr. Alan Stroud.
Devek, what are you doing out there?
Observing, Osa. Your team has some interesting projects in progress, don't they? How many of them are approved?
So you're spying on me. We get enough of that from Tristan, no? Well, it doesn't matter. I only work on projects Nathaniel approves of. Whether he approves of them in advance or after I show him is another matter.
You're braver than I am.
So, why are you here?
It's difficult to concentrate when Varian, Isra and Ren are, missing.
Yes.
I don't know how you keep busy, Osa. I really don't.
Do I look busy?
Yes.
Oh, good. Nathaniel is very calm. Surprisingly calm.
Do you think he used up all his anger when they tried to escape?
There is a chance. Even he has limits. And it's bad news for North Drucker if that is the case. If he's past anger, then he's heading straight for action. And that's when people get hurt.
Do you think you'll get to launch some missiles?
I think not. But Tristan's agents might be allowed to flex their skills. Nathaniel can devastate a nation without bombs and guns and soldiers. One command from him, and every leader would be dead overnight. There would be no time for chaos, just collapse.
It's chilling, really.
I like to think we're on the right side of it.
The right side being?
The side that wins.
I thought you might say that.
Devek. I chose where to stand many years ago.
You chose strength.
I chose progress.
At what cost?
Any cost. You know that.
I do. But judging by the way you jumped to Varian, Isra and Ren's defense, I'd say you sometimes forget.
Yes. In that one regard, I wish we did not have to go so far, but when you start drawing lines, it is difficult to stop, no?
My thoughts exactly. We love them. That's why they have to live. The experiment has to pay off. Long term, too.
We're a few years off that. You cannot damage them like you did Tristan.
No. Not that he cared about the side effect.
No. And frankly, I think you did the world a service. On that note, how is Varian's offspring progressing?
Third scan this morning. All is well.
Any signs of abnormality?
Not at this stage.
If it comes out a mutant, it will not bode well for you, my friend.
That depends on the mutation.
True. If it's shooting lasers out of its eyes and breathing fire, you'll probably get a raise.
I'm hoping it'll be able to fly. So, shall we place a bet?
On what?
How many Varian, Isra and Ren kill on their way out of that place?
Oh, I see. It depends on how stupid the stuff are. If they're smart, they will have very few casualties.
So, the bet is on whether or not their captors are intelligent.
I think they will be. I say between 5 and 12.
That's specific. I'll go with very unwise. Over 15.
Ooh, I suppose we'll see. This is not like last time. We will see them again.
You think so?
Yes. They are not trying to escape from us.
You don't think they'll make another run for it once they're out?
No. They will return. They really did try to escape and they failed. And they're dealing with the consequences, poor things.
Yes. Well, they think they lost. They'll see it differently in a few years.
Again, I stand on the side that wins. And so do they, whether they like it or not.
For now, they do not.
They are teenagers. No, being resentful is their prerogative. I was insufferable at that age.
I wasn't. I was already at the academy, 3 years ahead of my class. I didn't have time to be resentful.
Of course.
You don't believe me?
You had parents, no?
Well, I didn't just spring out of the ground, Osa.
Sometimes I wonder. Tell me, Devek, did you enjoy it when your parents told you what to do?
What do you mean?
When you were busy and concentrating on something and your mother or father called you for dinner and insisted you leave what you were doing.
That's different. I was working. It was very important and they didn't understand. There was no need for me to sit there and watch my parents eat and drone on about their jobs between every mouthful. Unnecessary torture. When I left for the academy, I didn't even think about going back. Oh, really? It's not the same. I had good reason to be frustrated.
And Varian, Isra and Ren do not.
No! If we weren't making them extraordinary, they wouldn't be saving the world or changing the scientific landscape or doing anything remarkable.
If the wars never happened, and the invasions never took place, and they were living the lives they were born to, they might be.
But the wars and invasions did happen.
They did.
And if we didn't rescue them, they would be dead.
Almost certainly.
So, I stand by my statement. If, by some miracle, they were adopted into an ordinary life, they would be very ordinary people.
You sound confident.
I am! Isn't this the point of our secondary experiment?
Nurture over nature. I'd almost forgotten.
Well, I haven't. And neither has Nathaniel. He's still waiting for Varian to become his father.
I think it's fair to say that that's never going to happen.
And the other two?
Well, Ren is far more intelligent than his intended life would have required. As much as he resents it, I think growing up in a lab did him good. As for Isra, no. Nurture. As far as I can see, we are right. Nathaniel and Tristan are wrong.
Agreed. On another note, I did come here with a question in mind.
Oh?
Shivrata, the soldier with the pulverized arm.
Bone soup. Yes. You're amputating it, no? I have been looking at designs for a mechanical replacement.
You have?
Yes. Here.
This is very, integrated.
You thought it would be more surface level.
I assumed it would have to be.
And risk it falling off whenever she gets it caught on something. Or lift something heavy.
Oh, when you put it like that.
We know that titanium, caprin, and gossin fuse very easily with bone, which is why we use them for joint replacements. I've suggested we use titanium here as it's cheaper. The limb would be implanted with biosensors wired into that implant and the nervous system. With practice, it would behave like any arm.
This is very interesting. If it does well, it could open up a whole new avenue in human enhancement.
Yes? If you want the body to be reliant on external power sources and subject to malfunctions.
So you think it's not worth it?
I think your research and development of genetically enhanced soldiers is far more elegant than bionic limbs.
Well, on that we can agree.
This is an interesting side project, but if Srivastava were in battle, isolated on a front line for several days, her arm would be in danger of losing power. It would lack the complex nervous responses active within our biological bodies that inform our movements. She would be more likely to damage the arm because there would be no pain, no sensory reaction, and then, if it is damaged, she will remove it and she will be a one-armed soldier anyway, so what is the point?
Well, Ren seems to think it's important to save her.
Ren is avoiding this consequence of abandoning his comrades on the Blood Road. If you ask me, it is not a practical solution.
It was his final request.
Those are my designs. It is the best that can be done. With more thought and consideration, we could take the project further, but it would mean putting a whole team on the case. And unless Varian, Isra, or Ren lose a limb, I do not think it would be worth the expense.
I'll put it to Nathaniel. I told Ren I would try.
Well, that is up to you.
I agree that enhancing the biological human body is more elegant, but bionic humans are an exciting prospect. You have to admit.
If we are building robotic bodies, we would have to be careful about the programs that run them.
Yes. Auto.
She won't be hunting me for a long time yet.
Well, we do still have her voice answering our basic questions. I take it you thought about changing it.
The other options are dull or irritating or both. I chose this voice for a reason.
Have you thought about giving it a body?
I have explored the idea of giving her localized access, keeping her contained within a single unit separate from the rest, but then she would be static, which would be boring. For us and her.
But giving her the ability to walk around
would be problematic, and also limited. Nathaniel would want her at his disposal at all times, which would mean zero use for the rest of Dex Island.
So, multiple bodies.
And then you have the danger of an army of autos wandering around Dex Industries.
You could limit her functionality, though.
I thought I had done that before. I wanted her to learn, but only through Dex personnel and the seed data. She had limited access to external materials, and with that limited knowledge, she thought that Varian, Isra, and Ren would be safer in the outside world than here. She meant well when she helped them escape, but...
You believe that?
Yes.
She certainly had a very utopian view of what life would be like on the outside. What if you gave her access to everything this time around? What if you let her build up a balanced viewpoint?
Something tells me she wouldn't change her mind about what we do here.
You know, bionics don't have to be built with strength in mind. There's nothing to say that a metal frame must have the power behind it to crush a human. You could build a flimsy robotic shell that would be easy to pick up and crush if necessary, with an accessible kill switch.
I admit I did not think about it that way.
I miss having her around. We all do. The limited version isn't the same.
No.
I suppose a new auto would be new, like starting from scratch. And if all the bodies were weak, you could have multiple.
I would have to think about it.
You could have a backup and running in no time, and walking around this time.
Yes. I wonder what you would think of that.
Someone would have to decide what she would look like.
Nathaniel would have final say.
He always does. I sense a few more wagers on the horizon.
I'd have to ready my bank balance. But first, coffee.
Oh, yes, please. It will be a long night. I'm not even trying to sleep.
Me neither. Come on.
In Season 3, Interlude 2 of the Dex Legacy, you heard Eleni Aristeidou as Dr. Osa Srivastava and Lewie Watson as Dr. Devek with music by Dr. Alan Stroud. Production, sound design and editing are by Chris Gregory for Alternative Stories. The Dex Legacy is recorded at Orpheus Studio in London by Richard Orpheus Campbell. Our executive producer is Don Flinspach. The Dex Legacy is written by me, Emily Inkpen, and produced by Alternative Stories. If you'd like to find out more about our cast and crew or about the world of the Dex Legacy, please visit our website at thedexlegacy.com. If you'd prefer to listen without the ads, why not join our Patreon? You'll get our entire back catalogue of episodes ad-free, plus new episodes 2 days early, plus bonus content and more for the Dex Legacy and all our shows, including Wasteland, a Dex Legacy Story, Burnout, Spec Radio Theatre, and Writing Worlds. Just follow the link in our show notes. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give us a like, rating, or review in your favourite podcast app. It helps other people to find the show and means the world to our cast and crew. You can also leave us messages and comments on Spotify, and we love to hear from you. The Dex Legacy, Season 3, is an Alternative Stories 2025 production.